Welcome to another episode of Child Sexual Abuse Prevention by Zina podcast. I'm your host, Zina Poncel. Today, we're going to be talking about voyeurism. That's right, voyeurism. It is spelled the letter V as in Violet, O-Y-E-U-R-I-S-M, voyeurism. So what is voyeurism? Well, I'm going to tell you in just a second. I'm going to do a quick little review on what child sexual abuse is, and then I'm going to tie in voyeurism. You ready? Here we go. Child sexual abuse is any interaction between a child and an adult or another child in which the child is used for the sexual stimulation of the perpetrator or an observer. Sexual abuse can include both touching and non-touching behaviors. Non-touching behaviors can include voyeurism, exhibitionism, or exposing the child to pornography. Children of all ages, races, ethnicities, and economic backgrounds may experience sexual abuse. Child sexual abuse affects both girls and boys in all kinds of neighborhoods and communities. So with that little explanation I just did, and I pulled that particular explanation because it had voyeurism actually in the definition of non-touching behaviors. I pulled that directly from the National Child Traumatic Stress Network. I wanted to be sure and give them credit for that little segment I just poked out there. But basically, voyeurism is what it said. It's the non-touching behavior that is considered sexual abuse. So I am fixing to move forward and go into the definition. I want to look real quickly at the history of voyeurism and how it kind of came to be, although this won't be in great detail. This is just sort of an overview. Voyeurism as a behavior is likely as old as human history itself. The term voyeurism comes from the French word voyeur, meaning one who looks, and was first used in a sexual context in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. However, the act of secretly observing others for sexual gratification has existed in various forms throughout history. The concept of voyeurism became more formally recognized in the field of psychology in the late 19th century. So while voyeurism as a concept and term emerged in the 19th century, the behavior itself is much older, likely existing as long as human social interactions have existed. Voyeurism is a behavior or practice in which an individual gains sexual gratification by observing others, typically without their knowledge or consent. Yes, voyeurism is illegal in many jurisdictions, especially when it involves non-consensual observation of people in private settings. The specifics of what constitutes illegal voyeurism can vary by country, state, or region, but generally it involves invasion of privacy, which is secretly watching or recording someone without their consent when they have a reasonable expectation of privacy. Example, in their home, in a bathroom, or in a changing room is typically illegal. Use of technology. Using devices like hidden cameras, mirrors, or other tools to observe or record someone without their knowledge is also illegal. Distribution of images or videos. Sharing or distributing images or videos obtained through voyeurism can lead to additional criminal charges. Now, there's a lot of pedophiles out there, and this is their thing. Taking pictures or images of children or purchasing them. Remember on the dark web we talked about? If not, back up and check that podcast out. Punishments for voyeurism can include fines, imprisonment, and being placed on a sex offender registry, depending on the severity of the offense and the laws in the specific jurisdictions. Now that I've talked a little bit about voyeurism, and being that this is a child sexual abuse prevention podcast, I think I'm going to combine the two. So, protecting children from voyeurism involves both proactive measures and education to ensure their safety and their privacy. Here are a few tips to help protect your children from voyeurism. Help children understand personal boundaries, including who is allowed to see them in private settings. Example, like when they're changing clothes, when they're using the bathroom, things like that. Make sure they understand the difference between safe environments and inappropriate situations where their privacy could be violated. Be vigilant about your child's internet use. Teach them not to share personal information, images, or videos online without permission. Use curtains, locks, and other physical barriers to ensure privacy in bedrooms, bathrooms, and other personal spaces. Be cautious in public or rented spaces. Use apps or devices that can detect hidden cameras and ensure there are no unauthorized recording devices. And I personally am unfamiliar with any apps or devices to detect hidden cameras, so you'll have to do your own research on that one. But this was a suggestion from the data that I pulled off the internet. In regard to your child's social media accounts, ensure that they are set on private and only trusted individuals are added. Encourage children not to post images that reveal personal locations or sensitive details. Set up parental controls on devices to limit what your child can access online and to monitor their online activities. Be aware of who your child interacts with in physical spaces like schools, playgrounds, or extracurricular activities. Supervise, if possible, to ensure a trusted adult is present. If you suspect someone is engaging in voyeurism, report it to law enforcement immediately. Yes, it's illegal. Teach children to alert an adult if they feel their privacy is being violated. Understand your region's laws regarding privacy and voyeurism and advocate for your child's rights if necessary. By combining education, supervision, and the use of technology, you can help protect children from voyeurism and ensure their safety both online and offline. I think that's going to wrap us up for today on our voyeurism segment. I encourage you to dig deeper and look further into anything that I discussed in regard to child sexual abuse prevention. Remember that knowledge is power. Shoot me an email at csapreventionbyzina, that's Zina, @gmail.com if you would like some additional information or if you have any questions. Remember, whether you learn about child sexual abuse from me or someone else, please learn it from somewhere. There's some very informative podcasts, blogs, and probably local education on the subject offered right in your community. So just check around. Please don't forget to take good care of you. Remember, you are important and you matter. And of course, thanks for looking out for all of those kids out there, from babies to tweens to teens. Looking forward to tossing some more information your way soon. Thanks for listening. Have a super rest of the day.
Don't forget me say, I appreciate it.